Like fast and loose with that one. I don't know.
Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Rachel.
And this is So I'm Watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 12, Episode 5. There was a title there.
I think like hot water or something.
Okay.
In hot water.
Because of reasons, we didn't have the ability to do a reaction this week, so we're just going to have a conversation about what happened in the episode, which was, I think, a pretty good episode. We are still... I've noticed that these plots tend to go for like 3 to 5 episodes.
Yeah.
And then you introduce a new one as the old one's phasing out.
Yeah.
Or sometimes even 2 to 3 seasons. I wanted to start off with the single most important, most crucial plot element of this show. And that is that Jurassic World is opening in 2 days.
Was there a dinosaur growl at the beginning of the episode? Because I looked down for a second and then I heard like rawr, and I was like, I looked at Bo and I was like, I don't think that came from you.
It was big in the corner of the screen the entire episode. And look, I get it, but they're doing an in memoriam for Lois, and it's Jurassic World is coming out in 2 days.
Yeah.
So I'm going up to Medford. I don't know any more as of now, but please keep her in your prayers.
And so Garcelle is buying a beach house. This is the first we've seen of it. Mm-hmm. And she's going to be it's like she's flipping it.
No, I think this is going to be a second home for her.
Okay, so she is keeping it, but she is still going to like it's like kind of like rickety, and they're gonna like rebuild it.
Girl, did you see that house? Absolutely, she's going to tear that down. Listen, that house looked very loved and lived in, but I think they're choosing to let it go out to pasture.
Sure. I thought her plans were very ambitious. I'm very curious to see what we're going to see of this, because it feels like it might be an ongoing project.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they'll keep the foundation, but the thing with California real estate is that you buy the house and then you raise it and then you start on like fresh ground.
I think that might be a rich people thing.
No, that's a California thing.
Well, because that's what they're doing all over in Winter Park. Every time one of those houses gets bought, it's...
Yeah, well, especially California, just because there's like no space in that area. So anytime a home goes up for sale, they just like, bye. So
we had a couple of the little scenes. I am very curious how this show is like what the behind the scenes are like, because I've noticed that they almost always go out to lunch in pairs.
Yes.
Where they sow the seeds for the fight that's going to come a day later. Mm-hmm. And I'm curious if this is scheduled or
probably.
Because that is one of the things that if you've been watching our coverage, you're well aware, but I'll very briefly explain. I have a slightly hard time with this show because it's reality TV and because they're real people. Mm-hmm. And I am very passionate about not making grand character-based assumptions, assessments of people that I don't know, and things like I've never liked when someone's like, you're just jealous. It's like an outside person can't diagnose that. And so in a general sense, I'm very aware these are real people and not characters on a TV show. So I do sort of watch my wording, but what is this? What is this storyline? What the fuck?
With Sutton and Crystal?
Yes.
I don't know. It's messy. It is that.
It seems like Crystal, in an attempt to sort of like prove her feelings or earn her feelings, that she sort of exaggerated a little bit, or she sort of like, because she was upset, she got triggered based on this whole Sutton thing in La Quinta. And she has this issue with them policing how she feels. And the thing is, I get it. They are able to cite instances where that happened, but it doesn't feel like this, this threat the way that she's explaining it the way that she's insisting it.
Right. And I was trying to like zoom out, right? I'm really trying to like check my privilege when looking at this because of the lens that we're looking at it through. And so basically Sutton she tells Garcelle that she thinks what Crystal is referring to is that the day following that, like, am I going off base?
Well, not necessarily. I don't understand where this came from, because it's like we were having the Sutton issue with Sutton and Dorit. This started with Dorit's house being broken into. And then I totally understand and get it. Garcelle and Kyle do a lot, where Kyle's like, if we're going to say it, I might as well say it to your face. We might as well just talk, because it's being filmed. They're going to find out regardless. Right. I think Kyle's slightly better at it than Garcelle is, because basically we get this situation out in the open, and Garcelle decides to take a left field by being like, well, I think you threw Sutton under the bus when you said, are you that person who doesn't see race? So it's like Garcelle drove us like hard into this topic. And so Crystal then was twice sort of feeling the need to defend herself. And I think because the word that we were arguing, because we are always arguing a word with Crystal, was she said Sutton said something very dark. And my impression is that Crystal was just sort of leaning into the drama of
Speaking of drama.
The drama of it all without, like, I think she got in over her head, because then once she said Sutton said something dark, they wanted to know specifically word for word what she said. And I don't think it's there because we haven't seen footage of it.
No.
I think Crystal's going with vibes that she felt.
So then if that is what she's going off of, then you say, well, Sutton said something like not great. And that I feel like gives the connotation that like something was just kind of like makes you kind of like cringe a little bit. Dark means that she dropped like 5 N-words. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's who was it Erica? Because, you know, the thing, Erica is an extremely strong flavor, and I totally get people who don't like her. But I think I am coming down on your side, because we danced around in circles for like 5 minutes in Mexico. And finally, Erica said, did you say something racist?
And when she said it, I was by myself in my bed, and I threw my arms up and I said, thank you. That's what it is, because she is just like, there is the insinuation that Sutton is racist. And it's just kind of like, just say it. I don't know why we're dancing around it at this point.
Well, I do get that, though, because we run into that issue with our show, because it's like, because of the situation we have, we're 3 white people talking about this stuff.
Right.
And we want to do a good job, and we want to cover, you know, important subject matter and important topics and stuff. But there are times where we're suddenly like, ooh, I don't want to be the one that the innuendo is more comfortable. Like, and I think, because there's an implication that I think some people think Crystal's lying, and I don't think she was lying. I think she was sort of caught up in, that's why I keep saying the drama of it all, where I think Crystal implied it was worse than it was, and or she was like, I was feeling like, I think she was feeling, you know, from a lifetime of being, you know, the Asian woman, the Asian girl. I think she was feeling triggered, and she put the word, like, Sutton said something dark versus it made me feel.
So then why is she doubling down on it and being like, well, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Right. You're not, because there's nothing there.
Yeah. No, because, and I think she realizes, she was like, fuck. And,
but then why don't you do damage control, or then
because they'll never let it go. If she actually admits it, if she actually is like, I misspoke, I like blah, blah, blah. And so I kind of love Crystal so much. And that scene she had, that lunch with Kyle, where she was just sort of like, Kyle was like, I don't remember the words, I didn't write it down, but Kyle was sort of like, you need to tell me what she said in order for us to get through this. And Crystal was like, well, just take on faith this one time. You're going to have to give me this one. And the way that she would not back down was, so is Crystal annoying you? Is that?
I like Crystal. I don't know why we're doing this.
Well, it seems that the plot, the piece of information that we actually got in this episode that furthered the plot is that other people have warned Sutton about Crystal's character and Lisa Rinna. And I also
they've warned Lisa Rinna as well, not warning her about Lisa Rinna. Yeah.
And Lisa was so funny the way that she was like, "Oh, I've heard these stories too, but I'm not going to say anything." And Lisa, because she had her whole thing, and we'll talk about Lois in a moment, but she had this like whole dramatic plot, and I just loved that she showed up and was like, "What I miss?" And it was like, "Ooh, awkward," and she was like, "No, but really, I'm going to make you say it. Like, I'm going to make you say word for word what happened."
Because she is Carmen, she is a bitch. To quote her intro.
And she wouldn't let it go until they finally were all fighting. And I just sort of, I did see a tweet. I forgot who said it, but a person on Twitter who was like a writer was like, I remember that much. They were like, something about Crystal pings that like, kind of like goody mean girl.
Oh, you quoted this person last week, the tweet last week. Yeah.
But they were like, she sort of pings that like goody mean girl thing for me. And
well, when she said she threw out the comment at the dinner about like, I'll be careful about using, I know these are big words. And Garcelle was like, no, that was aggressively passive aggressive. And it's just like,
which
you don't get to do that, ma'am.
Kyle called her out on that, where she was like, you're going to have to drop the passive aggression. But it just, I am sort of, I'm split, because I do think that Crystal stepped in a little bit, but I also do think that they could choose to just let this go and go ahead and put I'm very much sort of like, I give a person like 3 chances type of a thing. And a lot of people are like, you get 1 chance and that is it. And so I feel like, because anytime that you're coming into a new social group and there's so many, this is such heightened stakes. I mean, this isn't a lunch table. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things happening. People misspeak. Like, people.
What frustrates me about it, though, is that she should just say that. Or if she is in fact alluding to the story that Sutton said.
I think as of now, because they've called her bluff, because she was just trying to hand wave it. She spent the last 2 episodes sort of trying to make it go away and not addressing it. And I'm on that side. Like, I would have gone ahead and been like, okay, I'll give you this one. If this happens another time or two, then I'm going to be like, okay, this is a pattern. But they're not giving her this one. And so they've made it into such a bigger issue than it is. And it's also very funny because it's like, Sutton's probably my least favorite. However, I kind of thought she was hilarious in this episode. Like, I kind of like
she's on the good drugs. I think everything's starting to like balance out a little bit.
I don't know. So you think Crystal should have gone just the full mercy of the court? Like, I just think they'd use that against her for forever. They're gonna do it regardless.
I mean, I would rather, if you're gonna rub my nose in something, I would rather you rub my nose about like misspeaking, or rather than me creating shit and like assassinating someone's character or whatever.
They all love to overspeak, though. That's the thing. It's like they're gonna get so nitpicky about Crystal's one insinuation, and it's like, you stay. Like, someone needs to teach Dorit what diametric opposition means. Do you know what fuck it? And again, I love Dorit too, but Dorit's such low hanging fruit. Like, she's so easy and so fun to make fun of.
Yeah.
We were talking about her speaking Spanish. Oh my God. And Garcelle's like, and when they answer you in English, that's like code to stop doing it.
Yeah. My whole thing is, if she truly was bothered by that conversation, then she could have said, like, the story. Because what I was saying before, like, I was trying to zoom out about the story about, like, Sutton explaining about how, like, her kids invited everyone and everyone was allowed to come.
The United Colors of Benetton. It was like.
And she said Chinese girl instead of, like, an Asian girl. And so I was like, well, is that what it is? Because maybe she like wasn't actually Chinese.
Well, Crystal is though.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But I'm saying like the girl in the story, like if she like misrepresented like her culture or something, maybe that, because that is a thing in the Asian culture, which I have learned because I ask questions and I want to understand, because it's like, it's not a blanket thing. Like everyone's very different. But so if that's what it is, just be like, that story rubbed me the wrong way. And I know we had this conversation, but this is something that is just bothered me for a long time. And then just be like, we've had the conversation, you know, I apologize for making it seem like it bigger than it was, but to me, it felt big.
And I also think Crystal is sort of refusing to secede the high ground. And that
sometimes you have to.
Yeah, and I think
sometimes you have to be like, let me go down.
Well, they called her bluff. I think that's what happened. Is I think
they blew up your battleship. So then that's it. Start over. I don't know what to tell you.
In which case, as irritating as it is, it's kind of impressive.
I don't like it. That she's not.
That they blew up her battleship.
Oh yeah.
That they were like, no, we're gonna do this. We're gonna. And I do. There was something so funny about her trying to weasel just out of it and like, just let me have this. They were like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I mean, they're not letting. I mean, it's well. I mean, because they keep comparing it. Because Erica's like, y'all didn't let me have it either. Still not letting me have it. So you know, it's. I don't know. I want to like Crystal, but there are like little tells of like the bitchy mean girl, and
so you're getting that too. Mm-hmm. Okay.
She has really pretty hair. So
is that my issue?
You love a bitch. Where's Cersei at? There she is. You love a bitch. So I mean, I do like Crystal, and I loved learning about her family. I really like learning about her, but I feel like she's play acting. Like she's having to be like this bitchy Beverly Hills thing. This is why I didn't do well in LA. Like this is why I didn't do well in California. I don't like playing that game at all. Like there is a certain level of playing the game and I can play it to a point, but when you're being like rudely false about a lot of shit, and it's just like I don't like that part. No.
I would have.
When you walk into my house and I put out my $98,000 Birkin, absolutely high fives. Do that all day long. But like when you're like being just kind of like Rorschach paintings, I know I'm using big words right now, and it's just like.
I mean, maybe you can't relate. But. So, I did want to point out whatever that was Sutton was doing at the sushi restaurant with Garcelle, where she was mixing her drink.
Bitch, just use your hands to take out the ice.
Well, Miss Manners. And I was like, if this is your version of manners, you're doing it wrong.
Well, and she just left that big giant ice cube. I was like, I was looking.
She was making such a scene because Garcelle was sort of like.
Well, and I just was, what happened to the ice cube? Did she leave it on the table? And if that's the case, there's just a puddle on the table? Or what did she do with it?
We did have the episode that dealt with Lois's passing. I've only been here for 2 seasons roughly. So I didn't spend a lot of time with her, but I am familiar that she was quite the character. She just seemed so with it.
She was.
She seemed so sharp, and it was really touching to me and for me. I mean, I'm very close and devoted to my mother in a similar way that Lisa is with Lois. And I don't know what it is about Lisa, because I was actually talking to Mom about it. I was like, I don't know what it is about Lisa that I like so much. I think she's such a perfect combination of like the classy, wealthy Beverly Hills, but also tacky, and also like, and just the fact that I don't think she could be like, she's under no illusions.
No, that's what it is. She plays the game, but she plays it authentically.
Yeah, like I don't think
unabashedly herself. That's why I like her. Like she can be grating for sure, but she knows she's being grating, and she's like, I'm gonna annoy you. So prepare yourself.
So like what we started the season with, the fight that she was having with Sutton, I think they were leaning into that. I think that was the TV of it all.
Yeah.
Like I think she was like, oh, this will make for a good plot arc. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. It's very. I think in a way, and maybe it's because, I mean, next to Kyle, she's been there the longest?
Of this cast, probably, yeah.
I think in a way she's kind of the heart of the show, or a heart of the show. I am apparently alone in this. Well, you're with me, but I think Diana is so funny.
She's very funny.
I love how much she can't be bothered by like when they were having the fight in Mexico with Crystal, and she was like, I cannot believe we're talking about this. This is just such this is such a non-conversation. Yeah.
She's just very much like, if she could have her phone out, I think she would be like this.
And you just get the sense, like, I mean, so of course, like especially by like the average person.
She's probably texting her stylist, be like, can you sit in and fight for me, please? I can't.
I need you to show up and prep the conversation for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And man, that woman got it done.
Yes, she did.
Did she seriously ask if they could make the closet taller?
She probably was joking, but also like,
no, but for real though.
Like, is that something we could do? Just cut off the top and you just like raise it? I have a table saw in my other room. Like, it's fine.
All of the, like as was saying, all of these women are certainly they're wealthy from like an average person standpoint. But it is funny when you get like a Kathy Hilton or like a Diana Jenkins who comes in and is sort of like for real though.
Yeah.
Like she wouldn't even let them film in her plane. You know what I mean? It was like.
And I just love the fact that she just owns all of it, and she's just like, I am money. I had zero, now I have all of it.
Yeah, the nouveau riche thing. I just love that, because that's supposed to be the thing that you're like afraid of or ashamed of, and she's like full-fledged, like I'd print it on a t-shirt.
No, bitch. Love it. Live it. Be it. Embrace it.
I work here now. Yeah. So, no, I do fully, I love seeing her sort of get, because for the most part she's having a good time, but there are times where it's like you're very aware that she's the new person.
Yeah.
And
well, she even said it herself that like she is having to work on, like when you said that you are the type of person that likes to give chances, because she said she was like, usually with me it's like once and you're done. And so it's just like, what a challenge for yourself, ma'am, to be on a television show.
Yeah. I guess it's not even necessarily that I give chances or X amount of chances, but I think I tend to be very empathetic of how people get into situations. Like I can understand how Crystal got into that situation. It was just sort of trying to make it go away, and in such made a bigger issue out of it, and then was like, well, shit, I can't back down now. And I think, and that was sort of my takeaway. And that's kind of why, as interesting as the scene in Mexico was, because that's the fight that we're all paying for, you know, from the reality TV, yada, yada. I think the funniest and more interesting scene for me was her and Kyle at lunch, where Kyle was sort of like, you're going to have to own up to this. And Crystal was like, well, you're going to have to let me have it. And it was just kind of like, because even though I referred to Lisa as the heart of the show, it's like Kyle is the head, like the grand dame.
Yeah.
And I didn't think we were going to get Paris's wedding because she did her own show. And so we got a couple clips. It was nice. I'm kind of a Paris Hilton apologist, so there's something about
kind of.
There's something about it that she's our Princess Grace. That I'm just like, oh,
what a leap! I mean, I'll let you have that.
Who? Tell me who is then? If not,
I don't know.
I mean, I could have said Diana. She's America's Princess Diana. And I do love the tidbit we got that at the wedding that she delivered her vows and
I want to do that for my next one.
He's so milquetoast.
He is. He's so nerdy, but I love that for her.
It makes me think that it might work.
Yeah.
He can't be working with too much.
Yeah, no, I like that. Is he a DJ too?
No, he's like a banker.
Oh, is he in money? Okay. Yeah.
I'm actually sort of like, oh, this one might work.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough there for celebrities, like people who like actors or musicians or whatever. I don't think Paris she needs someone who's like
Yeah.
Finance and money numbers. Like,
Business,
kind of.
Numbers.
Because, like, a lot of times, like, actors or like, musicians or whatever are normal people that had to develop a certain level of human abilities and got to these places.
Yeah.
And I don't think she can quite compete. I think that she has her
She is celebrity. She is not
Celebutante.
But like she is not. There is no trade really. Her trade is celebrity. Yeah, no, she needs a normie for sure.
Yeah, we had a conversation about Diana's second or fourth pregnancy. That was a lot. She again let Kyle in on that. So I'm curious to see what her run on this show is going to be like, Diana, if she's actually going to be in it, like if she's gonna, open herself up to these women and become part of it, or if she's gonna be a little bit of a stunt that they sort of like. Well,
I'm interested because in the teasers that we got for this season, she does eventually say, "You want a villain? I'll be your villain." So I'm interested to see how we get there and where we go from there, because she literally could come in there just to be like, and then like moonwalk right out of the show at the end of the season. So,
aren't we getting Denise Richards back at some point?
I hope not. I mean, no, I don't want it. Sorry, Denise, but I don't want it.
Okay.
I don't want it.
Was there anything else? Fucking Lisa Rinna ordered a filet tenderloin. Well done.
I missed that part. Ma'am, incorrect. Why?
I mean, it was Mexico, but no.
No.
Also, that resort was hideous.
It really was.
I was like, oh.
When they showed the facade of the building, and you could see hotel rooms like going out, I was like, it looks like somewhere around here.
Like we have nice things, like the I-92. Yeah. Like
there's this this place called the Hideaway Resort that I drive past every single day, and it's like on the highway, and it looked like just a little bit better than that. So I mean, like, Diane, I'm glad you got your presidential suite. I just, I don't know. And then I wanted to know what that drink was.
It was the beer. It was Presidente beer. Sweet.
I hate you. I hate you.
Is that racist? Can I keep that?
I don't know. Do I have fast to lose with that one? I don't know.
Okay, well, that was our conversation about episode 5. So
we have Wi-Fi again, so we didn't realize.
We lost TV and Wi-Fi for like 3 days.
When that goes out, you don't really realize how dependent you are on that until you don't have it anymore. I literally
You can handle one or the other.
Yeah.
Because is what happens is I'm like, well, if I can't watch TV, I'll listen to music. Shit. If I can't listen to music, I'll go on the internet. Shit. You know what I mean? It's like
I literally sat on the edge of my bed yesterday and was like, what do I do? And I've been in the throes of reading for like months at this point. But even I was like, I gotta get out of this place. I gotta go. I gotta do something. But no, we're back now. Hooray.
So, okay. Bye.
Bye.
Please don't tell us what you think. I hate the comments on this video.
I know. I hate it.